If you use Claude for writing or editing, Anthropic's latest move could affect the text it generates for you. New Claude models are embedding an invisible, machine-readable watermark into generated text. You won't see it, and it doesn't change the meaning or readability of the response, but the mark is designed to survive copy-pasting and even some editing. And here's the interesting part. It can also appear when Claude edits, translates, or summarizes something you originally wrote yourself. So can this watermark actually tell whether something was written by a human or AI? Not necessarily. So what does the watermark actually prove? Suppose you write an entire article yourself, you then give it to Claude just to polish the grammar, translate it, or summarize it. Because Claude generates the resulting text, the output can carry its watermark. In other words, the mark can indicate that Claude was involved in producing the text. It cannot necessarily tell you how much Claude contributed, and that's an important distinction. And the reverse isn't necessarily true either. If a piece of text has no detectable Claude watermark, that doesn't prove it was written entirely by a human. Content produced by older models may not carry the same marking, while significant editing or other transformations could affect whether a watermark remains detectable. Anthropic is transitioning older models to the new system, so this isn't a foolproof human versus AI detector. Anthropic is also introducing another form of identification for supported files. These can carry digitally signed provenance metadata. Unlike the invisible watermark embedded in text, provenance metadata can provide machine-readable information about a file's origin and history. But why is Anthropic doing this now? A major reason is regulation. Transparency requirements under the European Union's AI Act took effect on August 2, 2026. They require providers of generative AI systems covered by the rules to make AI-generated or manipulated outputs detectable in machine-readable form. Older systems have a limited transition period for the marking requirement. Anthropic is applying its marking system beyond Europe as well. But the move has also raised concerns among writers and other AI users. What happens when AI acts as an editor rather than an author? Imagine writing an article yourself, then using Claude to improve a few sentences or polish the language. If the resulting text carries a Claude watermark, someone detecting that mark could know that Claude was involved. But the mark alone may not tell them whether Claude wrote the article, rewrote parts of it, or simply helped edit it. That's why treating every marked piece of text simply as AI generated could miss how people actually use these tools. So what is Anthropic really building? The idea is better understood as provenance rather than a definitive test of authorship. A detectable watermark can provide evidence that Claude was involved in generating the text, but it may not tell you how much of the final work came from AI and how much came from a human. And as invisible AI watermarks become more common, that could fundamentally change the debate around AI detection. The question may no longer simply be, was this written by AI? It could increasingly become, how much of this was actually written by AI? Follow Business Standard for more such stories.